Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in. I am Muriel and this is As Told by Muriel. On this channel, I like to talk about, I seem to be talking about nursing all the time, although that is not my goal. But that
in 400 feet, turn left onto State Road S28-194.
As far as coming from a nurse who works in long-term care, so because I'm coming from a facility that I've never worked before. This is my first day working here, and after completing my shift, I said, you know what, let me make a little video, because I know I made a video before about working in a new facility and what questions to ask, but something else occurred to me today while I was working, so I was like, oh, let me go make a video about this. So y'all stay tuned. Okay, I'm sorry it's so dark. It is 8:11. I'm actually just getting out. Had a busy day.
In 1,000 feet, turn right onto US 1 South, US 601 South.
Yeah, so while I was working, this is well, let me tell you how this came about. Okay, I've completed my contract with that last facility I work, because
take the next right onto US 1 South, US 601 South.
Ended on April the 30th, and I decided against renewing again. I had been with them since January, and I decided against renewing again because they actually dropped the pay by a little over $200 a week. And when they did that, I did renew for
continue on US 1 South for 3 miles.
But while I was completing, oh, it's so dark. I'm so sorry, y'all. While you know what? Let me turn this, get a little bit of light. While I was completing the last week of that, I was thinking to myself, are you going to renew? Are you going to renew? And I decided against it, y'all, because even though, I live for a stipend, like I say, stipends are non-tax. I live for a stipend. It was just like, okay, now that I'm done with that contract, I'll discuss, the pay. So with that contract, my gross was $19.41 a week. That's what that's the least amount that I was going to get gross. But bring home net after that was like was supposed to be around $17.41, but it just so happened that my pay every week was at least $1,800 a week, just from working that job, doing 3 12-hour shifts a week. Now mind you, my hours are guaranteed, so there were some weeks that I was only scheduled 1 day or 2 days, but regardless of what they scheduled me, I still got my pay, which averaged out to be about $1,800 a week. And of the $1,800, 1,057 of it was non-tax. So yeah, as far as the government was concerned, I was only making $800 something a week, because that's all that was getting taxed. So yeah, and that left me time to go and do one more shift at another place. And at that other place, working that one shift, it would be an 8-hour shift I would do. Sometimes it'd be a 12. Like on those weeks that I only was scheduled 1 day or 2 days at the other facility, I'll go pick up a 12-hour shift somewhere else. So, I would still bring home every week about a little over $2,000, which is my goal, has been my goal for a while. But so when they dropped that pay, I was like, ugh. This ain't really what I signed up for. And it was still good because of the stipend, but I was taking an $800 a month pay cut, and $800 a month to anybody, a couple, single, whatever, that's a lot, So I didn't renew. I went back to my per diem, picking up my per diem shifts with these other agencies, and like I said, these other agencies per diem, they do tax. One of them doesn't take taxes out your paycheck, but you'll have to pay it at the end of the year. The other one does tax. It tax every week. But yeah, like I said, they're paying out there, like LPNs, those who are about to graduate. They paying. One of the facilities, one of the facilities I go to pays, $50 an hour to LPNs. Others pay like $40. If there's COVID in the building, one of the facilities I work to pays LPN $70 an hour. So yeah, the coin is still out here, y'all. I don't know how long it's gonna last. I got hope for those graduating this month. Like, y'all, the coin is still out here for you. So you know, LPNs, they making 50, 40, 50, 60. RNs making 50, 60, 70. Yeah, it's out here, y'all. So I went back to my little per diem jobs, and just so happened, yesterday was my birthday, y'all. I turned 44. I know I don't look at y'all. Thank you. If y'all got a close up on these grades, though, y'all would think different. But yeah, I turned 44 yesterday, so I was determined not to work on my birthday. I almost did, though. y'all, because I didn't have anything planned. When I decided I want to do something, it was so last minute. Everything was booked. I didn't want to go out of town or anything, but I was trying to schedule me a massage, and I took myself out to eat, and I took my son. Well, scheduling the massage was a bust because they were all booked up. I wanted to schedule a hair appointment. I'm natural, and I've been on my little no heat journey now for almost a year. I think I started it in July, so it's been almost a year. I haven't had any heat in my hair other than the blow dryer. But I decided, hey, let me go get my hair done. Well, tried to schedule that last minute. They were booked up. I was like, that's what I get. So I just went out to eat, and then I came home to watch the Versus battle. But I started to go to work, y'all, because the shifts were out there, the money was out there. But I was like, no, girl, rest. You can't catch every doll out there. Rest, stay home and rest, because you just did 2 shifts out of town. Rest your body, pick it back up later. So anyway, one of the per diem places, I reached out to them to see what they had this weekend, and they had a shift available for Sunday at a new facility I'd never worked before, but they were like, this place is in such desperate need that they're paying straight overtime for the whole shift. So I'm gonna let y'all figure that out. If the regular pay for RNs is $37 an hour, it was straight overtime pay for the whole 12-hour shifts, and overtime here in South Carolina is time and a half. So yeah. So, I jumped on that. And as I was working, I was like, you know what, girl? Because it was one of them, I call them throwback facilities, when, you got a lot of patients and it's paper charting, and the patients is on, like, all those pills for the, first med pass. You got this many. Like, I had 4 bolus feeders in my group. 4 bolus and 1 and 2 regular continuous. So that just tell you I had 25 patients. I had like 8 to 9 dressing changes, and that was true dressings, not just the creams. I had 3 body audits. So the whole time I'm working there, I'm telling myself, girl, you getting paid for this, hon. You getting paid for this. And I was thinking to myself, dang, I remember back in the days before you was getting paid this good, you would do all this work for what regular pay was. But, knowing me, I wouldn't have lasted there too long, because I would have been like, oh, hell no, you're not about to pay me, $32, $33 for all this work. But I realized working there, I was like, you know what? I went on the best day, because I went on a Sunday. I went on a day where there's no dialysis, there's no doctor appointments. What else made it kind of good was because we're not doing they weren't doing visitors other than the window visits, and the family members still was trying to come at me through the window, but everything was on point. I ran my shift like I normally run the shift. I went ahead and did my treatments, and I did my meds, and I doubled back and did my treatments, had all my treatments done by 12:30. Then I doubled back and
continue on I-20 West for 10 miles,
and then I took my break. And so I worked straight from like 7:15 is when I hit the floor, and I didn't take a break until like 2:45. But I like it like that, y'all. I wasn't busy, but I was steady. I can't stand twiddling my thumbs. I went and worked at a facility. I did 2 12-hour shifts, and I had 4 to 6 patients, y'all. I was the nurse. I was the nurse, but I was the CNA and all for those patients because it was such a small number of patients. I did everything. And even with that such a small number of patients, y'all, I was like, oh, I can't do this. I can't do this. It gave me, yeah, I can't be that nurse that had those little bit of patients. It just, the day drags. Like by the time I took my lunch break and walked back in the building, it was like 3:35, y'all. I only had another 3 hours and 15 minutes, and I had a whole round of meds to give. And I still had the chart. See, I like it like that. I like it. So when I lift my head up again, it's time to go home. And that's what happened. It was time to go home. The only reason I left so late was because I had no relief. And so there was one nurse that came in, but the nurse that was supposed to relieve me, I didn't even know wasn't coming till 9. I don't know if she was an agency nurse or not, but the nurse that did come in, she was staffed there, and she was like, I really don't want to take these keys. I told her, I know you don't. I said, had someone told me that I wasn't going to get relief till 9, I would have went ahead and, you know, shell out some of these 9 p.m. pills, you know. These 9 p.m.s that they just get at that once a night. Like if they just got them around 5, I wasn't gonna give it because I was actually walking out the door a little after 8. But if it was just a 9 p.m. that they just, or 8 p.m. and they just got it at HS at nighttime and they didn't get it since like 8, or if they got it at 8 a.m. and they got it again at 8 p.m. or at 9 p.m., 9 a.m., 9 p.m., I would have went ahead and got all those out the way for them. Like, I would have did that because I know what it's like. But she went ahead and took the keys. So after we counted, report and everything, it was like 5 after 8. So yeah. But anyway, I was like, if you're going to work a facility you never worked before, don't go on a weekday. Because had I rolled through there on like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever, Thursday, dialysis day appointments, I would never go back to that facility. Because I had a steady day, but any slight little interruption, like having to get this for dialysis, having to do this for a patient going to a doctor's visit, or DON stopping you, asking you questions, and family members, you know, at the window, I would have never went back. I wouldn't have went back because it would have been too much. But working on a Sunday and not having all those distractions, it actually gave me time to get to know the patients, get to know the medications. So I know those patients on that floor, on that particular wing, on that side. I know them. I know what treatments they. Okay, so I'm home. My camera, not my camera, but anyway, my phone's saying I didn't have any storage, so I'm just gonna end this video. Just to tell you, yeah, like I just wanted to wrap it up and say, when you're going to do a per diem shift at a new facility, or a facility that you've never been to before, I suggest going in on a Saturday or Sunday. Even Saturday, they have dialysis days, but you don't have doctor appointments. All those head people are not in the building. It may help you change your perspective about working there again, because I would go back to this facility that I went to today only for that little extra pay. But I would do it on a weekday because I know how the facility is run. I had time to take it all in. Okay, just want to let y'all know I'm going to start a new little, I'm off tomorrow, so I might start it tomorrow. I'm going to start a little series where I try to break down each nursing class. Y'all got to bear with me because nursing school was very traumatic for me. I'm still like, ooh. Whenever I bring it up, I got to say that, ooh, because that's how it was for me. Like, so, but I'm going to try to help those who are in school now. I had a new subscriber who asked me about my study habits and how I made it through med-surg. So I'm going to try to break down some of the classes for you guys. Yeah, but anywho, this is Muriel. If you enjoyed this information, please like, comment, and subscribe.